facing a few questions. But really, first of all, we'd just like to get to know these guys. So as I ask these questions, we're just going to pass the mic down, and we'll just jump right into it. First, what motivated you to run for city council, and what perspective or experience will you bring to that role?
Thank you, Billy, for the question. Thank you, folks, for coming out. My name is Chris Ballard. I'm running for Place 1 City Council in Winfield. My motivation, Billy, citizens of Winfield, is I worked out of town, lived out of town a long time, born and raised here, moved back from Florence in 2013, had interest in the city, wanted to see it grow and thrive. So 2016, I ran for City Council then, and I was fortunate enough to start 4 years on that council. I did a really nice job then. So here we are at 2025, and I want to get back into city politics and try to move our city forward. And just looking for the opportunity to hopefully get the next one I can do that.
Great, thank you.
My name is Miles. I'm running for Place 3, and I grew up in Winfield all my life. I mean, not very long though. I'm 19 years old, but it's always when you get into politics, it's always your first time at some point. So I'm gonna start now and get back to my community. I want to see it grow. My family has served this community for a long time. Great grandfather used to own house in our home since 1949. Me and my dad also have a business, got a landscape business here. And also got motorcycles, so we love giving back to the community any way we can. And, I think, me being young, I can give a new perspective on, things in the city that maybe, not everybody, the older generation or the younger generation has to say or talk about, and they want somebody to speak for them, and they don't have anybody to, really get that out there for them. And so, I just want to get back to my community and see what I can do with this city.
Good afternoon to everybody. Thanks for everybody that put this on. Jordan Pass, I remember Place 3. I was actually born in Winfield, but I wasn't raised in Winfield. My wife is my connection to Winfield. So me and her moved back here in 2021. Always our Fed family, so always coming to Fed or coming to Winfield just as a kid, and Winfield just always kind of drew me here, and then later on, we moved here. But as we lived here over the last few years, I really looked around, and then we have three children. Really want to see the community grow for my kids and put something into the community. And I think running for city council is a way I can do that to give a legacy for my kids later on, even years after I'm gone. Maybe I can do something to give back to the community through local politics for my kids, and my kids can live here and just help the community, help the kids, and by helping give a legacy to my kids, give something that the other kids in the community can really look forward to.
Hey, good afternoon. Brad Burrow, running for Place 5. Currently, I'm the youth pastor at Faith Church in Winfield. I also serve at the school as an assistant softball coach and do volleyball. And I just want to run for council as another way to serve my community, because I love it here. Me and my wife moved here 16 years ago, and I want to bring to the community a family-focused perspective. As a husband, father of 3, I think about the long-term growth, safety opportunities for all my future generations. My kids, I'm trying to think of a way to say it. I love the kids so much here. Like, my kids' church, we have 140 teenagers there. I talk to them every day about their concerns. These kids go through so much, so I just want to be a voice to them here in school and the community. And I believe Winfield can grow and thrive without losing the small town character that makes it special what you do. I'm a result-driven kind of guy. I don't like the way that's the way it's always been done. If that's not moving us forward and all that. Like I said, I'm family and these folks, I understand the importance of creating a safe place, programs, opportunities for young people. That's what we did. Feel like faith, the church up there. And I want to be a voice and serve the whole community, make decisions with a big picture in mind, not just for a small circle of people. And I got an inside look working for the city as a police officer, but the everyday life of the city, challenges, the needs of our community. I believe great cities are built by thinking ahead. And I'm saying that like when I first started at the church, Pastor Eddie had took over and we was a church of 200. So to grow, we had to staff the church and act like we was a church of 5. So when that day comes, we would be prepared and not be overwhelmed. So now we've reached that number, and we're working like it's a church of 1,000. That's the way we got to do Winfield. So you don't have an accident. It happens when leaders refuse to settle for good enough. Instead, we need to set a vision of something greater. That's the approach that I bring to council, acting, planning, building, like the Winfield of tomorrow is here already. So that one day we'll big city opportunities with small town work.
Good evening. I want to thank all of them for having us. I want to thank Jason for hosting this event. I want to thank each one of you for coming out. My name is Josh Lucas. I'm currently running for City Council, Place 2. Born and raised in Winfield, Alabama. I'm married to my beautiful wife, Heather. We have 2 kids. I started my career in law enforcement at an early age, where I managed 2 businesses. I worked night shift, and then I run my businesses here today. I knew at a young age, the only way to be successful is by hard work. Most of all my life, I've been involved in helping my community, from changing a flat tire to saving a life. I'm currently employed at Deer Valley Home Builder, where I manage over 20 plus crews. I oversee the day-to-day operations with over $300,000 projects, which we have about 20 of those going on at a city. I also own and operate a real estate rental property business, where I've grown the rental property business to 18 as of today. The reason I'm running for city council, I decided to run because I care deeply about this community. I want to be a part of making sure Winfield always moves in a positive direction. I believe I bring a fresh perspective, a strong work ethic, and connect with the citizens of Winfield. I've invested my time, my money, this town, and I believe myself it will grow. And I want to grow and help the city continue to grow. Thank you.
My name is Dustin Holsey. Running for place number 1. I've been living in Winfield most of my adult life. I worked in this city for years as a law enforcement officer. I served in the roles as a patrol officer. Eventually was promoted and worked in narcotics. I was assigned to the Governor's State Drug Task Force. And lastly, I was the Lieutenant Chief Investigator. So I definitely believe that I can bring the experience that the city needs. I'm familiar with how the city operates. I myself, just like everyone else, I want to see the city move forward and grow. And I believe if we all work together, we can make that happen. But it takes us all as a community to come together with ideas that we can all build upon and work to see how we can make that happen. And I believe we can. And it just takes us all to work together. So, again, I thank you all for putting this on and for all of you that showed up. It means that you care, and we'll see how it goes. And we would all appreciate your support. Thank you.
Just keep the mics on down. We'll come back this way, so it's equal opportunity. As a 30-year resident of Winfield, I appreciate all of you guys putting yourself out there. And one thing I do know, to have a good government, you have to have good people run it. And you guys are a prime example of that. Appreciate you guys putting yourself out there. Question 2. If elected, can you pick out one thing that would be your pet project that you would like to see happen within the city?
Good question. Probably one of my priorities would be start working with recruiting on business in the industry, start trying to the city to grow, promote our local businesses, even though they're still here, we still need to promote our local businesses. Do business with your local businesses. And there's a lot of ideas that I'm sure everyone has. Can it all be accomplished in 4 years? Maybe not. Things don't happen overnight. But I would look first, our best. Where's all, our expenditures are spent, where's every dollar going? It's your tax dollars that the city spends. So you should all have a right to know where your money's being spent. And we should be able to vote about that and not keep that kind of stuff private. So those are the first couple of things I would like to get to work on right out of the gate.
All right. So my top priority is to make sure our city budget is in line with what's being spent. I want to make sure our tax dollars are being used and spent effectively to benefit the citizens in the city. I believe with any business, with any city government, and it starts with budget. It starts with spending. Everything needs to be in line with your budget and no wasteful spending. That's my top priority. That's what I work for.
So I got a couple here. Economic growth. I want to attract some good paying jobs so the young people have the option to build a future here and then not have to move to find opportunities after school. Infrastructure, make practical, high impact upgrades of roads, public places, city services, and transparency as in using technology to keep the citizens informed of what's going on. Could be social media, a mass text, newsletters, whatever, because the citizens, they just want to know what's going on. They like to be in the loop. Want to work closely with all the department heads to see better and more efficient ways to run a department and seek out grants. There's grants out there, money to be got. I'll even go with grant right to school if I need to try to help get some. And I also am a guy who learns from others, as in when I become an investigator, I would go watch the other investigators, how they did things, pick them up. So if I see a town that's doing something better or doing something we want to do, I want to go find out how they're doing it, what the process was, and then bring that back to Winfield and make it work for us.
I think probably one of the biggest things for me would be kind of like Brad said, bringing higher paying jobs for the younger people and just people in the community in general, so they don't have to travel. Not when me and my wife moved here originally, she was working in Birmingham. It was an hour and a half drive for a better paying job. Bring in some larger industry, something that's going to employ 200 to 300 people. Meaningful employment for the community. Because with that employment, the economic growth goes, but also keep in mind when looking for an industry to consider to bring into the community, make sure it's not harmful to our small businesses. Me, I'm a small business owner
right off the bat that you would dive into in the first part of your term?
Yeah, for me, they touched on, the infrastructure of that road, touched on buildings, businesses, stuff like that. But for me, also the healthcare providers, which is hospital local doctors, our school system, very important. Have a lot of kids in this town. Then you go all the way back to our local municipality services that we offer through our PD, fire, street department, library, and park. So all of that combined is something that needs to be a first priority.
Just keep the microphone there. So these next few questions are inspired by citizens of Winfield who just wrote in. They wanted to ask you guys some questions. So I'm going to start with you. It says some residents who can't attend council meetings because of work or family feel that they only hear about major city decisions after they've already been made. What would you say to those citizens about your plans to keep them informed and giving them a meaningful opportunity to provide input before those decisions are made?
Yeah, that's a good question. Very hard for a lot of people to make city council meetings, but we're very fortunate with our local newspaper that's here in Winfield that is always there, and you can always follow up with the newspaper. Also, that we do live streaming through Facebook, the city provides that service as well, and also you can, from my understanding, I'm not a Facebook guy, but I do know the app is that's recorded. So if you can't watch it on Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, or if it works out for you that you can't see it Saturday, so it is available for you to record.
Yeah. What would you say to the citizens who maybe feel like they only hear about city decisions after they've been made and not can't make the city council meetings because of conflicts?
Yeah, so every meeting's recorded. It's you can find it on YouTube. It's on YouTube Live, and it's on Facebook. You can go back and rewatch the videos. If you're not there, you're not there. But like you said, like being able to speak their mind about a decision, we can have a public hearing, and we can bring the citizens there, and they can speak their mind on a certain topic or decision that our city is trying to make. So.
I think, of course, social media, everything's already recorded, it's on Facebook. But also, I'd like to see the council put out after a meeting, hey, let's do a summary of the meeting. That's just a post. People don't have hour, 30-minute, however long the meeting is, to sit down and watch the whole meeting. But they could take, give
concerned about, because we're here for people. So we need to hear their input.
Yeah, so I agree that major city decisions should be announced prior to making that decision. I think that's important to you guys. It's important to me that you know what the agenda entails. I believe this will require being available to our citizens by phone, email, as well as social media. Social media is a big platform these days. I mean, we're in 2025. You have social media, you have apps, you have different ways to reach the community. And I believe that should be utilized. We have 49 county net, normal record, still, city website. So I think all of those should be implemented and utilized effectively to reach the community when there's major decisions being made.
Yes, I agree with every one of these gentlemen's answers on that. I believe it should be an open book, like I said earlier. Any decision that's major is made by the city, I believe should require a public hearing prior to these decisions being made. Those are not big ticket items, and it costs a lot of money. I don't know if that question came in reference to the $2.2 million loan that was just taken out. I'm going to assume that's what it was. But folks, $2.2 million, imagine that monthly bill every month that you're going to have to pay for. And I'm not aware of the public knew unless they had prior. I mean, it was brought up at one council meeting, and a bid was accepted the next. And now you got a $2.2 million loan that you got to pay back. I believe that every citizen should have the opportunity to come in on a decision like that and voice their opinions on whether they support it or oppose it and why. I mean, we as city government, it's important to listen to your feedback because, like I said, it's your money and our tax dollars just have to pay it back. So that's my opinion on that.
Good. Keep hanging on to that. We're actually going to get into a little more specifics on these next couple of questions, and I'm just going to lump these into together. This citizen wanted to know your thoughts on the limited operating hours at city waste receptacles that make it difficult for many working residents to access those services, and also what your thoughts are on the local donation boxes that we know that our citizens and non-citizens use these well-intentioned drop locations as trash bins and just make a mess of everything. How would you address this issue?
Right. Actually, Josh and I were talking about this question last night about the city dumpster being provided to the public at any time. The idea I came up with, and we talked about, and I think we can implement, would be, build a fenced-in area, put a dumpster in, video surveillance, make it a keypad with a key card entry, maybe provide an option to the citizens to have a trash account. Do you charge a level fee on top of your trash bill every month? The city's going to pay for that, provide that service and key cards. But that allows people that's at work and can't get there on time or when it's available, that they can go at any point in time of the day or the night to dump off their trash. The question about the drop-off boxes. I know the ones in the area, they're all much more considered private property. And even though some are set up at Gateway, I can tell you, you kind of run into a gray area with that on how you can enforce that. I like that question, but to be honest with you, that's one of these situations where you probably won't get the city attorney's advice on what options you might have as far as enforcing cleanup and stuff like that. But you really run into a gray area when you try to get in a situation like that.
well as sign a waiver. If an accident happens, I believe that should be in place. The only way to resolve that is monitoring. On donation boxes, drop-off boxes need to be within business hours. I honestly would like to see this operate as a business, like maybe a Goodwill, Salvation Army, thrift store. This could be a business opportunity for someone. Also, we could designate this as a community center, make that a drop-off location, as they handle also the meal trains. Just a thought, these are things I would look at options if I'm elected, and what best and better serves our town.
So, the deal with the dumpster, there's a couple different ways you can look at it. You can get an employee who's not set hours in the day. Instead of working during the day shift, why not have one come in the evenings and work an evening shift? And while they're at the shop, managing the dump, you also could be doing maintenance on equipment or, whatever else. You ain't got to work a day shift. Nobody says that. The donation boxes, I would like to explore the city ordinances and see if there's a way through that we can make them have to be in a spot that has video that's already there, either from local businesses or some that the city owns, and that way they're under surveillance. So if we do, they do go, we're going to have a police department, they're great, they're find them, and prosecute whatever they do.
In regards to the dumpster, having a place to drop off of that, if you've been to the dumpster in town, that thing's about 7 foot tall. If you have anything that has any weight to it, it can be extremely difficult to get in there. It'd be really nice if we could come up with a different system, maybe a dirt burner or something you can just back up there to it, you can unload what you need to get out, some sort of system there. But also maybe you see looking into purchasing the trucks that we do for street pickup for larger trash, even brush even. I know that's been talked about, that may be a question later on. You go around people's houses, brush and stuff in their own house. You just put it out the street and see you pick that up. That could be an option, but I would be, it's seeing it probably come down to a budget thing on that. I would definitely do something different with the dumpster situation where you can actually get the trash in there fairly easily, and then maybe extend the hours, looking at, maybe, having a full stay or something like that. Those things will help. Anything going forward can be better than what it is now.
So the dumpster's open from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday. It's not very convenient, I don't think. But I feel like if the street department people are on shift, the dumpster should be open. So if they're there at 7 o'clock, it should be open at 7 o'clock. If they're there till 3 p.m., it should be open till 3 p.m. I don't understand, why it's not open. It's only open from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's definitely something if I get in there, it's definitely, I would like to change that could better help our community, get rid of their trash, because nobody likes these inconvenient hours. Plus, it's only open every other Saturday, I believe. Don't quote me on that, I'm not very sure on that. But, not everybody's got that kind of time, and if we know it's, open at a certain time, it needs to be open. I know I've been there several times. I'm thinking it's only 11 o'clock. I try to go there, it's closed. It's the middle of the day. If they're on staff that day, they should be open the time the office is open, 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. And that's how I feel about that situation.
Yeah, to follow
said about that, during my previous time, we had the same issue come up then, and goes back to the street department that had to go out and do work cleaning that up. If the guys that come around and pick that stuff up for donation, if they don't come around at the time it matters, we did have the city go out and do their part, to help keep the city clean.
Awesome, thank you guys. I'm going to lump these next two questions in together because they're kind of budgetary in nature. This is, in your opinion, our police, fire, EMS departments, are they staffed adequately to meet our current needs and our future needs? Also, our roads are in need of repair, but funding is limited. It's always about money. How would you prioritize our police, our EMS, fire, road maintenance, and improvements to ensure safety and quality for the coming years?
Well, to speak on the police and fire, obviously a couple of these guys have mentioned they have served the city. Actually, they were there when I was there. Did a really nice job as far as if they're adequately staffed today. I don't know. Again, I'm not down there, so I really don't know the impact of what's going on with the either departments. And obviously, the EMS is standing alone. That's not anything to do with the city. And the other question was
Roads, our roads.
sure. In past practice, when I served there, county and the city, we looked at need first, and then obviously we would work on that, and then we would go to our hospital, our schools, and then on the residential areas. So it kind of goes to high traffic areas. So obviously if more traffic's around the school, around the hospital, and the residential area, those are the three main ones. Maybe not so much in that order. That's kind of how it was done.
So, obviously the EMS, North Star, they're not city funded, it's completely different companies, so they're not anything to do with the city. But the police and fire, I know a lot of them quit and don't get the job and stuff like that, and they're hiring. And, they're police and fire are both difficult jobs. Not everybody wants to do the job anymore. Back in, maybe 10 years ago, yes, everybody wanted to be a police officer, everybody wanted to be a fireman. But, as generations get older and older, a lot of young people like my age, they don't want to be police, they don't want to be fire anymore. It's hard to get the people in them roles. I'm not there, I'm not in, the city council, but I don't know what's the current situation exactly on, how they're trying to move forward with how many police officers they want or how many firemen they want. But going to the roads, we try to, the city spends a lot of money trying to get these roads better, and there's still several roads that need to be worked, repaved. There's potholes, there's damaged culverts. There's a lot of roads that it's going to better than most people. I want it to help. Whatever roads we pave, it's going to be the top priority. So, high traffic areas, where the school bus routes go, where the most citizens live, things like that. And we'll try to pack that in the budget best we can. Try to, if I get in 4 years, we'll try to get as many roads fixed as we can.
Yeah, so as far as staffing for fire and police officers, can't really speak directly to that because I'm not familiar with how it's staffed now. But it would have to change if the city continues to grow, because as more people come in, you got to have more. So you got to figure out how to bring that in to the budget. What's going to pay for that? Pay for the extra firefighters and the additional police officers. And then, getting to the roads, the firefighters, the police officers, the EMS, and they're not run by the city, they got
police, I can speak on is, in my opinion, the best around. They got high standards. They concentrate on training. I think they said 16 would be their full staff number, and that's a good number. But I also would like to see a school resource officer at each school, and not just one that has to bounce from school to school every day. Because that, as a dad, that makes me feel safe. And the streets, like I said, prioritize the high traffic areas, and I like to invest in maintenance, sealing, patching, resurfacing, stretching the life of the roads, and that avoids big job down the line, which is letting it go. I want to pursue state and federal infrastructure grants to stretch our budget further, ensure we're bringing outside dollars into Winfield. So I'll need that and community input also to guide decisions by tracking traffic counts, road conditions, or hearing directly from residents. Their taxpayer dollars should be spent where they're making the most impact for the most people by combining smart planning, preventive work, progressive pursuit of outside funding. We can improve our road quality in Winfield without wasting money or letting problems pile up. If we plan and invest like our largest city now, we'll be ready for the growth when it comes instead of scrambling to catch up.
On the police and EMS and fire, I would work with each department to ensure we are performing at our best with full staff, the proper equipment, and we do so on a daily basis. I believe that we should not get complacent. If we are unable to keep each department fully staffed and minimize turnover rate, then we need to sit down and figure out what the root cause is, work together to resolve and bring interest to candidates and applicants, future applicants. As far as the roads, I would like to work to get grants to help provide the paving, the remaining roads that have not been paved. I believe that if a road has not been paved, I believe we should be able to give you an answer and a time frame on when it should happen. As far as the roads, I believe that high traffic areas should be a priority. Actually, in my opinion, I believe the whole city should be a priority. I believe we should focus on paving all roads, not just high traffic, not just, we're going to pave this road because we think it needs to be paved. I think we should focus on all roads in the city of Winfield and get them in better shape.
Yes, as far as, like they said, the EMS is federal in itself. They contract with someone else, but unfortunately we don't have no say-so on that. And as far as the police department, this is where I bring extensive experience to. I worked here for years. No, they're not at staff. Right now, they're very short-handed or stretched. I know when I worked here, you didn't have a turnover rate that we're seeing nowadays. I mean, most of these guys I don't even know. And they're obviously going to be here a year. They're up and leaving and going somewhere else. Why? I mean, this department, they have the best equipment provided to them that you can use. Is it a morale issue? Is it a leadership issue that's going on within that agency? A lot of these officers are just up and leaving. I think that's something if elected, I will work with each of these departments to figure out what the issue is. Because we need to retain good officers. We don't need to lose them every time we turn around and try to find a new hire. Is it money issue, not being paid enough? I mean, do we need to look at restructuring the pay scale arranged it on yet. I don't know when the last time the pay scale was restructured, but when I was here working, when it comes to trying to find good officers, whether it's recruiting or to get a new hire or to retain them, I can tell you 25% raise every 6 months doesn't sound too enticing to try to retain good officers. You know, if an officer leaves for a better opportunity, you can't blame them for that. But that's a very stressful job that we've worked in. All three of us sitting right here has got that experience. It takes a toll on you, but it also requires, I mean, you gotta have a servant's heart to do that job and be willing to sacrifice a lot, especially a lot of family time, holidays. As far as the fire department, I don't know how they're staffed currently, but I know both agencies do the best they can, and they've got probably the best equipment in the surrounding area to work with. We just need to find a way to retain those employees because they're the backbone of day-to-day operations to the city. All city employees are. So that's the things I want to look at and work on that, these officers here.
Great answer, guys. Let me, we'll probably hit looks like we're at 6:50, so let's hit a couple of these questions real quick, and then we'll close this thing out. This citizen, with all the boards that serve our community, such as our park board, our school board, how would you encourage, and keep in mind that all these boards are involved on a voluntary basis, or maybe very little, how would you encourage an open dialogue with these boards who fall under the scope of the city and the citizens of Winfield when it comes to making major decisions that affect taxpayers and our students?
So can you repeat that?
Yeah, how would you encourage members of these boards that fall under the scope of the city to communicate better with the citizens of Winfield when it comes to making big decisions that impact our taxpayers and our students?
Great. So you told me you're representing different boards to different departments, like the board of education and our hospital board, anything like that. Yes, I believe that, you know, these boards, these board members, they need to have an open dialogue with the city council. They need to work hand in hand. Because the city provides a lot of this funding to the school. You know, I think the last time you up, I think the city gets 52% of the city's tax dollars, you know, so if they're making big decisions, then I do think they need to communicate that to the council so the council knows what's being spent or what's going out the door. But I think the key is an open dialogue. I don't like things being done behind closed doors. I always believe in being an open book. Because if you're looking like you're trying to hide something, then chances are you're trying to hide something that you don't want the public to see. But I think communication is the key to that.
Sir, how's it?
As far as the school board and hospital board, I have to agree with Dustin. I believe that everything should be transparent, open book. I believe, being in the city, assistant with the school, I believe that should be communicated back to the city council. I believe all that should be discussed with city council. However, I will say I believe we have the best school system in the state of Alabama. I've had the opportunity to meet most, if not all, the staff and board members, and I believe they do an excellent job. But we can always try to be better and more transparent in every aspect. And I will work to make sure that is happening.
So, first of all, brag on our school system because I love them. Like I said, I'm up there almost every day, volunteering doing something. It's one of like put it on there, hey, school board meeting tonight at such and such time. And instead of school board meetings on a certain day, and don't move them. And if you move them, you gotta, have enough time to let people know about it. With the school doing great, the park's doing great, they're got the gym going up, pickleball courts, got new fences. So I really, it's just transparency. People just want to know. People just want to be involved and know what's going on. And feel like, the board or whoever actually cares what they think. If they don't know what's going on, they feel like showing, So that's the biggest thing I see there.
As far as the various boards, the school board, hospital board, all of the subcommittees, I guess you could call them, their boards. They should, I think transparency going across the board with everybody sitting here at the table. I think they should be transparent, there should also be accountability, and some of that stuff, hey, the school board's going to make a big decision about something. Let's talk to the city council about it, let everybody in, just let the citizens even have, some public dialogues and stuff going on, and just go from there, all that stuff. You can go on social media, the school board, have a meeting, put on, put a little snippet of a post, hey, this is something that's supposed to school board meeting, this is what went on. And that would, that would engage people, and even doing that, you probably have, some good ideas that come down the pipe from people, because people will be more engaged with those boards, and of course you might have some bad ideas, probably, it's something that you probably don't want to hear, but you definitely want to get some good ideas, that you're like, well, you might have thought about that, and the board can kind of move on that idea, and the boards are actually very positive for all boards across even the city council, just help them move forward. Thank you.
I think all the boards in Winfield, they need to be more transparent. Recording the meetings would be great. A lot of the park board, school board, hospital board, the meetings are not recorded. And people want to know what's going on because, I know a lot of these meetings are an hour or an hour I can make it. And I think it needs to be recorded so everybody can watch it. So because they're open meetings. Anybody can go to these meetings. I can go to the park board meeting. I can go to the board education meeting. But they need to be more transparent with these times are. They need to be able to get it out there so more people know what's going on in this community. Because it's just very important that the citizens know where their money's going and what's happening to their city. Because at the end of the day, if we don't have the people here in the Winfield, we're nothing. So the people are important.
Yeah. As most of these guys have said, I agree with most of it. Kind of like tonight, we're live streaming this event. That would be something definitely that I would be interested in trying to ask the boards within the city, all of the city, to look into doing for the citizens as well.
Well, guys, we are bumping up to the hour, so I'm going to ask you guys one last question. So I'll ask that question, and I'll ask you to repeat your name and what place that you're running for. And the last question would be, how would you measure your success as a council member, and how would you report back to the residents on your progress? On your progress.
Yeah, my name is Chris Bell. I'm a member of the City Council Place 1. As far as how would I grade myself, if you will, it's based on how we do it. Very excited for the opportunity to run again. We got big things coming. I feel like one of the candidates mentioned, the interstate exit off I-22 is very big top of the town right now. I'm excited about that. Again, I'm very excited still with having the PD get fully staffed and some of my police officers here, I didn't realize it was a situation that it was then. Head of the PD, fire, help with the street department, and parking lot.
So how I made my success as council members did when I started to the end, did I make it better? Did I make it better? Did I give everything I could to the community? And I think I can also use social media because it's such a big thing nowadays to maybe give little small updates here and there of what's kind of going on because not everybody is aware of everything that's going on. Also, did I help out these departments? Did our streets get better? Did our environment get better? Did we bring more business? Those things is what's making Winfield stronger and better. And, I think if I get on the council, I can help grow the city and make it a better home for the younger generation, the people that's coming here, bring their families, go to great school, and for the older generation to come here, retire, have a good life, and so like that.
Jordan Passley, place number 3. My measuring stick for my tenure, my term, would be economic growth and how the city grows during my period because being an elected official. That's just economics to me, being a small business owner, really gets on for me. Because most of the time, if the economy's good, everything else is going pretty good too. But also, to how you let the citizens in on, your success. Even just have a thought, maybe yearly, maybe just send out a letter to the citizens, and this is what we accomplished in the last year. As you elected me, this is what we've accomplished. So those are the things that I think would really benefit and really just kind of maybe boost the morale of citizens.
Thank you. Again, I'm Brad Rose, running for place 5. Measuring success, I don't think that's the citizen's place to do it for me. But to me, success is bringing tangible results to everyday life to the citizens of Winfield. I think we need to do regular online updates, show progress reports, project timelines, budget updates on the city website and social media. Even if we need to launch the city's own social media, because that's moving forward. That's where everything is today. Also, open door policy, phone, email, in-person meetings. I think like a state of the city, at least like once every 6 months, put it out, via letter, social media, website. Then, like I said, the community surveys, and even I thought about doing a youth advisory council to get to know what the youth think and like what they want, and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I'm all about the kids and trying to keep them safe and busy, really, to keep them out of trouble. But my goal is that if I get on the council, nobody ever has to wonder what's going on because they already know, because they'll have multiple ways to engage, provide input, and see results firsthand.
Yeah, so, I would want to, work on goals and agendas. I would actually like to see, citizens doing surveys, report back to city council on goals they would like to see improvements. And then we, mention that in council meetings openly and work towards those goals that you request. I would like to see surveys done. Also, I'd like to work with, I'm in the building industry, and I would like to work with local entrepreneurs and developers to bring businesses. I'm around those guys all the time, and I communicate with them, and I would like, for them to show interest in building in the city of Winfield. So that would be one of my goals. Also, I believe our youth is the future of our city. This will be one of my main objectives I will focus on immediately. I will work with the park and every resource possible to create opportunities for youth. I believe that they're, the future of our community. Again, my name is Josh Lucas. I'm running for place 2. Thank you, and God bless.
Dustin also running place number 1. I think measure of success would be what can be accomplished, in this term if you feel fit to elect any of us in these seats. But you measure your success to me as a whole body of work, not just one particular city council member or mayor themselves. I think you would measure success by how the others are doing and what they need to accomplish. I believe in open door policy. I'm always reachable any time of day, any time of night. I don't care to talk to anybody. I don't need strangers. So if you come to me, if you have a question, you're going to get an honest answer. So I think that's how I would be and how I would measure success.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your willingness to come and sit down and answer questions. But most of all, we thank you for your willingness to serve the city in this capacity. We'd like to thank all of our listeners at home, all of our attendees here at the Pizza Bar. I'd like to thank Pizza Bar for hosting. And we wish all of you guys good luck in the election. And most of all, we just wish for the city of Winfield all the best things. Thank you, guys.